there, guys. What is going on? Schlappy here, and today I'm back with Saidanmaster and Curious Key and special guest Tashlan because three people just wasn't enough. And we also needed Tashlan because we needed a project to do in the background, and well, I guess the rest of us just have nothing to do. Welcome, Tashlan.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello!
And today we're doing another, I don't know, chatting video. I don't know what we call these. And I guess we'll talk about the hot topic of the minute, which is E3 and all the stuff that comes out of that and things that have come out of that. I guess at time of recording this, it's actually not over yet, but all the conferences have happened. We have a pretty
It's
good
still
idea
happening
of
till the
everything.
15th. There's still some minor, like, I'm not sure if you call them conferences, but there's still some devs that have got some. But yeah, the main stuff's still all done.
And just for preface, anyone on my video, or I assume Sidemasters, we're still using Discord to chat, which isn't the greatest because Discord hates Europe, I guess. So if you hear some audio stuff, Curious or Tashlan sort of cutting in and out, feel free to tweet at Discord app, APP, Discord app, to all your hates and... I know that's their actual Twitter because I saw them tweet yesterday, so please direct all hate towards that and tell them how much you want Europe to be equal rights with North America, even though we all know they shouldn't be. Just tweet them at that.
No, of course not. We should be better.
All right,
We created you.
So we're on
We created
Room.
ourselves.
We're helping Tashlan build a wall.
Yeah, we're on the.
And we'll talk about E3. Does anyone want to, I don't know, start? Tashlan, you're a special guest. Anything exciting excite you from E3?
Well, there are two things, and it's kind of interesting because of we're actually on a Playful Corp game at the moment, was to see that they've released Super Lucky's Tale and also Star Child, which looks rather interesting to me.
Star Child was, it's a new
Oh,
VR
yeah.
title, right?
Yeah, that was the VR,
Yes.
PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And then Super Lucky's Tale. Lucky's Tale was a game Playful made a couple years ago for VR. Super's Lucky Tale is a continuation of that, but not in VR, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
That's right, and it's different in that I think Lucky's Tale was only on console.
Lucky's Tale was only on the Oculus Rift.
Only on VR, yeah.
Yes, whereas this
So-
this is actually, it's being released on Windows 10, which is a little bit disappointing to me because I don't have Windows 10, but that's my preference, not everybody else's.
Yeah, it's Xbox,
yeah,
Windows 10, Super Lucky's Tale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. And it's Lucky's Tale, from what I gathered, it's essentially like a platformer game, maybe?
Yes, from
like
what I've seen of it, it definitely looks that way. Yeah.
It looks very similar to Super Mario Galaxy. If anybody, and if any words, if any of you haven't played that.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Super Mario Galaxy and of many other Marios. So
Yeah, I played the crap out of
Tash,
the game
you
as a
have-
kid. So
be able to craft some more yellow Adobe stairs.
yeah, there's no more blocks in the chests over there.
we're at a bit
There's
of
a ton of stuff in the red Adobe stairs in terms of Adobe and Canyon
yeah.
and stuff.
I have got some yellow Adobe slabs. If you want to pick them up from me, whereabouts are you?
We're just by your
need
chest.
rods to turn them into stairs.
I have those too.
Yeah, about Super Lucky's Tale.
Well, let me just craft them into stairs and then give you the stairs.
That'll work.
Yeah,
Mm.
I was just thinking, let's
It's
think outside the
VR.
box here.
see, and that's kind of weird for a 2.5D game. I'm not sure how they're going to make that work.
Sorry, what is it? Your internet cut out, or your
It's like
voice
Star
cut out?
Child, the new Playful game.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that'll be
it's-
interesting. I
it's-
don't know.
I mean, they
That
have
was the one-
experience making VR, so it's... I heard good things about Lucky's Tale in VR, so I mean... maybe it'll be cool. I don't have VR, so to me it's sort of like, oh, that's cool that they're doing stuff, but
Well, yeah, similar to me, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm not really a VR person.
Yeah,
One of the games I saw that was interesting. I'm going to start with one of the smaller ones, and that is Metro Exodus. I don't know if anyone else is familiar with that.
I love the Metro games, and that one looks
wonderful.
Notch. Give me more Metro. I'm cool with it.
I was very pleased with it. I don't know. Are you aware of the games that came out before them in a similar vein, the Stalker games?
I played Shadow of Chernobyl. That's the only.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. See Metro as the spiritual successor to the Stalker games. It's a very similar kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. Although I mean, I read the Metro books. They're really quite good.
I've not got around to making to reading the books, but yeah, the trailer for it looked really cool. The only thing though is I'm not sure how much of what we saw was scripted or not, because a lot of it seemed heavily scripted.
Well, that was the first reveal at the Microsoft on the new Project Scorpio Xbox One X. Full 4K, blah, blah. But that game, out of any game I saw across E3, that was the best looking game I saw across any platform and any game. I mean, it looked
not the best looking, definitely. Yeah.
They said that was running. They said that was running in engine on the Xbox One X. So if that's true, then the game would look at least similar to it.
Oh yeah. I'm just for gameplay purposes, I'm just not sure how many of the events are scripted. Like,
I mean,
the big thing
all the Metro games have been good, so I don't really have too many fears about.
Big thing for me is it looks like it's open world. Games kind of weren't. And I loved that Stalker was open world, or at least kind of open world. So open world Metro, to me, makes it do everything that I wanted it to do that Stalker did. So that, to me, makes it amazing. If it's fully open world, it's one of the types of game that I think works really well as an open world game.
I think the problem that I've often encountered with open world games is that they're not truly open world. Is that you find, well, I want to go look over there, and it's, oh no, actually you can't, and that's kind of annoying.
Okay, there is the other side of the spectrum that I find is the issue. I call this the Assassin's Creed dilemma, is where it's utterly open, but there's not really much reason to go anywhere. Because there's nothing to find, nothing to see.
Yes, I agree with you there as well. It's like, yes, so it's open, but there's nothing to do in that open space, which it kind of makes it feel a bit unrealistic as well, because the real world isn't like that.
I would say there's a lot of the real world that's not really worth walking around.
For game design, you kind of want to have unique little things. Like a good example is The Witcher 3. Really managed to make it feel worthwhile wandering around its world, because there were all these unique little quests that I could find and do. Assassin's Creed games, at least a lot of them, there's lots of little activities I can do, but a lot of them are kind of cut and paste. Now, Tashlan, if I give you some slabs, I have some slabs here.
Speaking of open world games and getting,
so you want some more stairs,
E3,
do you?
Bethesda, Doom, Skyrim, and Fallout 4 coming to VR. I'm really excited to see how they ported those over to VR, because those are 3 fantastic games, 2 of them massively open world. I mean, those could be huge for VR.
Doom VR sounds to me like a vomit and adrenaline fest. Like,
I wonder if it's gonna be like on the rails almost.
I actually think Doom VR could be the best of them.
Yeah, I agree.
For the same reason that you're saying vomit on rails fest. It'd be really, really fun.
There's something, I think VR, the big shining point of it, for me at least, has always been the idea of walking around like a world and being fully immersed in something so cool and, you know, like a fully scripted world. So I think Skyrim and Fallout both have those. If they can make it work, I mean, VR
Oh,
walking
yeah, they
around
do,
in like
yeah.
Fallout, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
If it works, of course.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a game?
After this, I have a whole list of games that I was intrigued by from each conference.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I was thinking we do one, and then someone else does one, and we do another one.
Yeah.
You know, we'll go through like alternating like that. I'd say.
But on the subject of the VR, I think this this E3 kind of solidified my decision that I want to get myself a PS4 and PlayStation VR for Christmas for myself, because
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't think Doom is coming to the PlayStation VR. I think I'd still have to get the Vive or whatever, but definitely the Skyrim on VR looks pretty cool. But yeah.
And Skyrim is exclusively PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
There is a version of Skyrim coming for the Switch, which isn't VR, but it allows you to play as Link with the Master Sword.
Yeah,
it
has amiibo support too, which is intriguing.
Yeah. Kind of interesting.
Another reason to buy another version of Skyrim.
Yep.
Skyrim is just something that's been happening a lot. I said to Tashlan before actually that my response to it was, how many times can you run this stuff through a cow before you can have to stop calling it milk? Because it's happened quite a lot of times at this point. Not that Skyrim's a bad game, it's just how many times are people going to buy it?
Lots. Although I do think it's just nice that the Switch has more games now.
Yeah. That's the only drawback I think with getting a Switch right now, is that there's like 5 good games.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a
5?
weak...
Like 5 coming out, sure. I don't know if there's 5 good games on it right now.
Here, let me grab mine and I'll tell you how many games that I've got that are good.
Yeah, I think it's highly subjective, but that a person who really likes a Switch could say they've got 5 games that are good for it. That's a bit of an issue. You know, like someone who likes it should be able to find a lot more games.
The games that I've got, which I have all the games that are out right now that I am wanting. I've got Shovel Knight, which is fantastic.
Oh, Shovel Knight's amazing. I've got it on PC. Fantastic game.
Fantastic game. But again, it's on PC, so it's not a Switch exclusive.
That's 2 years old at this point?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Breath of the Wild, which is probably the main poster game for it.
Really the only reason to buy one at this point.
It's the main reason to buy it right now. Yeah. The Tetris game is pretty fun. Minecraft Switch, which is, it's Minecraft. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I think is the number 2 game, which is the reason to get a Switch. I think it's the best version of Mario Kart to date.
Better
Snipper
than
Clips
64?
I haven't played very many. The main Mario Kart games I've played are Wii and DS, so I'm not very well informed. Anyway, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is pretty good though. Snipper Clips, which is fun as a co-op game, but it's really short. And then Binding of Isaac, which again is on PC, but it's fun to have on the mobile version.
On the topic of Switch releases, announcements. What I was really interested in actually is that they announced Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
Which is
showing gameplay.
that it exists. That's all it is. No release date, just a title. But I was saying just the day before that if there's one thing I'd really like, it's another Metroid game. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so should we start?
Certainly.
Should we start with going through each of the conferences and talking about certain games?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I'm a huge Xbox fan. Have been most of my life. Also, most of the games I play are on Xbox, just because my PC kind of sucks. And that Xbox conference, for someone who's a big Xbox fan like me, was a great hour and a half of my life. Boy, was it good. I don't know if you guys
there
want
was-
to start with Xbox. I mean, EA was first, but
we can
was
start with EA, I
there
guess, since it's
anything at EA
first.
that
It's-
really, I mean, Anthem, but that was basically on Xbox anyway.
And that
Yeah.
was also basically like an answer to Destiny, really. Oh.
It does look awesome though.
Anthem does look.
oh, yeah.
The only one from E3, I think, or not E3, EA, because it was mostly sports games, which I am not a fan of. But the main thing I think was Star Wars.
Oh, Battlefront 2, right. They spent
Oh yes.
45 minutes on that.
Yeah, that looks interesting, except when I was watching the gameplay, it looks like it might suffer from exactly the same problem that Battlefront's suffering from, and that is that there is just not any real even pretense at balance.
I mean, it's Battlefield in a Star Wars skin.
Yeah,
So
except
I'm in. I mean,
Jedi are a really cool concept, but it kind of it does. It's a really cool idea, but it's hard to implement well in a competitive kind of framework, you know?
I played the open beta of the original Battlefront. I never actually bought it because of the $100 price tag, but I think I am probably going to try to get this one, depending on how reviews go, just because I'm an immense Star Wars fan.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the thing that impressed me most about the original one was the art of it all, the sound effects, the visuals. It all is gorgeous, and it sounds phenomenal.
when
Like,
you
it
say
actually-
the original one, you mean the one that came out a couple years ago, or like
Yeah,
the first,
not the
first
original.
Battlefront that was 15 years
The original EA one. How about that?
ago? The 2 years ago one, yeah.
Yeah, the 2 years ago
They were
one.
pretty great with the sound design in that. Was
Yeah, that was phenomenal, and I think they kind of carried that over to the new one as well.
And I mean, it's DICE, so it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 is still used as a benchmark for a lot of people.
Yeah. Played a bit of Battlefield 1, not quite so fond of the way that one works to Battlefield 4, I've got to say. 4 is a great game.
I mean, it was a World War I shooter. It was gonna be a little rocky and different, but
Yeah, the thing is though, I would have much preferred that if it was more World War One and less crazy zany alternative history stuff. Is like the heavy armor and the weird ability for the horses to shrug off almost any amount of fire.
they sort of fixed that.
It-
But either
Kind
way,
of.
Battlefront 2 looks good. I mean, free DLC, which I didn't think enough people were talking about. That's fantastic.
See, I wasn't aware of that. Free DLC, I'll always be in support of.
Free
just
DLC
because-
for Battlefront 2 for its lifespan, which, especially for EA, considering how much it costs, Battlefront 1 DLC and Battlefield DLC, that's like $100 off the price. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tashlan,
that
I
is a
think
good thing.
I think I might have built your wall too high in places.
That's okay. Rather too high than too low.
I'm really, I feel like I'm doing things wrong in places. I don't know. I'm trying to do it right, but it's a surprisingly complicated design.
Isn't it just?
When it comes to laying blocks down, it looks like, oh, this will be a doddle, and then you start laying stuff down, and it's just, okay, what do I do now?
Where did that one go? Yeah.
I've not gotten much stuff done just because I've spent a lot of my time confused.
That's absolutely fine. I mean, I've found with that the amount of times that I've done it and then I've gone back and I've gone, yeah, I put that wrong, and I've had to redo whole sections of it. That's why every now and then I go back and just do something different, because it does my head in. But it's worth doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, more EA, or do we go on to the Xbox?
Yeah, I think
I'm
unless
sure nobody
somebody
else
wants to talk about
cares,
sports.
but I love
I
Madden.
didn't have much to say
The one thing I've wanted in Madden for a long time is the story mode, like they have in NBA, and they are adding it. So there's not much else to say. Nobody else cares about Madden, but that's really cool for Madden people because we've wanted it a long time.
Oh, fair enough.
it's just nice to see they added something different to the game, because I buy it every year and I always feel like an asshole.
Needed something different, certainly.
But yeah, that was EA. Battlefront, Battlefront, Battlefront.
Yep.
Battlefront is the only thing they had to really show for themselves, honestly.
Well, they did sell Anthem to Microsoft. They did have
Yeah.
Anthem. They just
Yeah.
They just showed.
Kind of left them, but being a little bit bereft. But yeah, Xbox or Microsoft or however you want to.
the new console sounds awesome. I don't have a 4K TV, but everything I've heard, all the reviews, apparently it works great. It's smaller, which is great. It looks awesome. I don't know.
I was going to say it's a cool console, but if there's one thing it doesn't do in my ears is sound awesome, specifically the name.
Xbox One X.
The acronym for that is Xbox.
Yeah, I know the idea they're going for, but
They're kind of in a pickle though, right? Because they couldn't rename it. It's still the Xbox One, so they had to essentially keep that branding. So it was kind of a.
I think it would have been better.
If I were them, I would have gone
idea.
with Xbox One Pro.
Yeah, even that would have been better. Xbox One Pro, or just keeping the Scorpio working title.
Yeah,
honestly, that would be it's more distinctive. Xbox One X is just, it is so clumsy to say.
It's a bit meh, isn't it?
It's just sort of there. It's the name of
I've
it.
seen a lot of jokes.
People are still going to call it the Scorpio.
Yeah, Xbox One X, but it's got 3 X's for one thing.
Awesome. Let's just call it the XXX.
Yeah. Call it Ice Cube being very attitudey in a movie. Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll just, I think people will just still call it the Scorpio, but it looks great. I will say that. All the games they showed on it, I mean, it looks like it, I mean, obviously E3 trailers and whatever, but everything that's come out of it sounds good, so that's cool for Microsoft.
Hardware-wise, it does sound pretty cool. I'll give it that. It's just, damn, that marketing could not be much worse.
Yeah. But they've always been bad at naming stuff, so you know what? I can't expect anything good.
I mean,
I suppose we could quote Shakespeare, couldn't we, and say, what is in a name?
I think Shakespeare lived in a time before marketing mattered.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So now everything has to have one Xbox One X on it.
Shakespeare didn't have a publisher. Shakespeare wasn't approached with the necessity of renaming the Philosopher's Stone the Sorcerer's Stone in America.
Oh, yes.
Although people say that was the publisher's idea, it wasn't. It was actually Rowling's idea. So
I bought that book in America before it got changed, because it was Sorcerer's Stone for the first 6 months of its run.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was originally Philosopher's Stone, you see.
It's the original title. Yeah.
Intriguing.
And yeah, the myth is that the publishers approached her and went, "Oh, you know, the word philosopher, it doesn't pan well in American so we need to change it. How about Sorcerer's Stone? That's a word that markets well, you know." But it was her approaching the publishers with that rather than the other way around. At least according to what I read about it. But that's me extending a joke a little bit too far, I think.
Anyway, so back on track.
It's all my fault.
One thing I thought was really cool, the games and stuff, but one thing I think that may apply to all of us, I assume we all play Minecraft in some capacity, or have, because I think everyone on the planet has at this point. But
no, I've
Minecraft
never played it.
Uniting everything together, so mobile, console, and PC will be able to play together in the next update. And they added 4K with shaders on Xbox, which is just kind of cool for Xbox Minecraft players that they can do shaders and stuff. But I think the cross-platform is so cool.
Cross-platform is really cool. They've spoken about the Java version and saying they're going to keep on supporting it, at least for now. With bug fixes and stuff, and there's a few major updates still coming for the Java version, so that's interesting. But me and Saidan were talking before about what this could mean for the Minecraft modding platform once it stabilizes into once it doesn't get updates anymore, because it could be very good for the modding community for Minecraft.
Oh, like a finished game where they can work on their mods in one version for
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
that.
So
I didn't
similar
think
to
about
like
that, but that'd be fantastic for them.
similar to how Skyrim has become. It's become just basically a modder's paradise.
Yeah. Exactly. It would be pretty cool. Tash, do you have any of the red mosaic wall?
Red mosaic tile wall. There's 28 in the chest.
Okay.
Are we short siltstone for that? I think I can.
I believe we are.
I think I can rummage some of that up.
Um.
Yep, I've got a couple of hundred siltstone. I'll pop it into the chest because that's easier for everybody to find it then, isn't it?
Okay. Cool. But yeah, I'm. Will happen with Minecraft once it reaches the Java version, that is, once it reaches its final version, because then the modders really get like free reign, and they can just do
crazy.
whatever then.
Yeah.
Other stuff they released on Xbox, Sea of Thieves. We got more gameplay.
Oh man,
I think they gave
That
us a
looks-
release date.
I didn't see one.
I think they
I don't
gave
know
it
off the top of my head.
in. I don't want to say that for sure, but I think they gave it in like the the Xbox Daily E3 after, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so you're excited for Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually seen it, and it looks really fun.
Oh, you haven't seen the pirate combat from last year's?
No, I missed
Okay.
that.
I actually missed Sea of Thieves, so give me a little bit of a rundown on it.
It's
a pirate
an
game.
open world multiplayer. It's sort of like a pirate MMO type thing where you kind of have a crew
Okay.
with your friends and you pillage islands and other treasure ships looking for treasure. And you can battle in your boats, and it's like it's sort of cartoony. The art style is really cool. But it sort of looks like a giant sort of RPG MMO where you play with your friends, and it's this kind of cartoon pirate, and there's sword fights and skeletons and treasure, and it looks really
Assassin's
cool.
Creed Black Flag without the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the art style. It's super cartoony and fun looking.
It does look quite. It's one of those I was thinking, oh, I might have that. Yes,
And it's
it does look good.
Xbox. It is coming to Windows 10 as well, I think they announced. So it's a Microsoft exclusive, but I think they did say PC as well.
Yeah, they did. So
Is
I'll
that
probably
what it
for
looks
sure
like
be
to you,
getting that.
Sidon?
We should play it.
It looks
those
like
of
a
us
game that you can sink a lot of hours into and just have a blast
yeah.
with your friends. Is that what it
Like
looked
a
like
good
to you,
idea.
Sidon? Because I mean, it looked to me sort of RPG MMO-ish.
It looks a lot like
Like
that.
I've not even got any visual here on it, and you've sold it on me. So
Yeah, it looks insanely fun.
And last year they showed the ship-to-ship combat at E3, which looks like a blast. It looked like some of the Black Flag sort of thing, the cannonballs and teamwork and blah, blah. And then this year they showed sort of a
Nice.
treasure quest where you had to solve a little puzzle with your friends and fight some stuff and sort of escape alive with the treasure. And then at the end of it, they were sort of being attacked.
Ooh.
You can sort of camp outside of these. It's a big open world. Apparently, most people on one server sort of thing. So there's different islands and you get quests and stuff, but it looked like people were just camping outside this island waiting for someone to actually go grab the treasure and then attack them. So it looks really cool.
Nice, yeah, that certainly sounds interesting.
That's been Microsoft's big first-party exclusive that they've been showing the past few years.
yeah. So what's next for Microsoft then?
We kind of touched on Anthem earlier. And having not played Destiny, Anthem looks really good.
It looks like everything that Destiny messed up on to me.
Yeah, see, for me, I've not played Destiny, but also the idea doesn't really interest me, so I didn't pay much attention to Anthem myself. So as you're more interested in it, maybe you should.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't play it because it seems like one of those games that would be like more fun with friends kind of thing. So especially if
fair enough.
like
Similar
you
to
guys weren't
Destiny.
playing. Yeah. And again, I haven't played Destiny, so I don't know. But yeah, it does look just like a good time, really. And it looks pretty good too, visually.
I like the setting of it compared to Destiny.
Oh,
Destiny is
yeah.
sort of those broken down planets, and this looks like sort of a lush, overgrown area, which it kind of almost reminded me of the Avatar planet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And that setting to me is a lot more appealing than Destiny's sort of, these forgotten moons and everything. And you're in a giant mech suit that you can, change it and level up and add new weapons to and stuff, which is kind of always cool.
That
Oh,
is true.
But we didn't get much from it. We got a little bit of gameplay that seemed kind of, because they said world events and all sorts of buzzwords, but then,
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
that's the
talk
thing. That's
too
kind of
much about
marketing. It's difficult to tell what's genuine there. Yeah. I guess so. What's the next item on the agenda?
Well, the only other thing from the Microsoft conference that we kind of talked about earlier was Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
Well, good thing
Now, Lucky's
I have
Tale
plenty
actually
more from the Xbox conference. There was a game they showed called Fortnite, which is coming out July 25th. I'd never heard of it before. It looks awesome. A lot of people are touting it as a game to succeed Minecraft, which I know might be blasphemy considering that's what a lot of people think this game that we're playing right now is.
Well, no, I'm always intrigued by that idea. What are they saying about it?
So Fortnite, July 25th, all consoles and PC. So it's a building game, but it's sort of a dynamic building game where, there's the crafting building like Minecraft, but it's actually mixed with sort of a first-person shooter. So you can build sort of the level as you're playing in it, and they didn't really talk too much about it. That's why I'm curious to see. I haven't looked up too much more about it, but it looked like it was sort of a shooter that you were sort of dynamically changing the level, and you could sort of run away, build up a bunker, stand on top of it, shoot down. And they said there was sort of questing and all sorts of different things, and I'm not doing it justice. It looks really interesting. It's called Fortnite.
Okay.
It's coming out very soon.
Are we talking MMO or are we talking single player with multiplayer options? What are we talking here?
I don't know. It just looked really
Okay.
interesting. The developers seem pretty intrigued. A lot of people are hyped about it that played it at E3.
Oh no, fair play.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
Interesting. I saw the name but skimmed it because the name didn't grab me. But
The name kind of blows.
yeah, see, the name makes it sound like a puzzle game or a Team Fortress 2 kind of game or something like that. And but now you've told me what it is, I will be definitely checking that out.
Yeah. Something that just interests me that most people probably won't care about is that I really like the idea at Xbox because there's a lot of games that don't run on my PC. Games such as Ark most definitely won't run on my PC in any graphic setting. They're bringing PUBG Battlegrounds and Conan Exiles are coming to the Xbox along with 20 other titles. Those are two games that I just want to play that my computer doesn't run, so that's kind of exciting for me. Just something nice that Xbox does. There's also the new Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know if you guys ever played that.
I haven't played the original. I've been meaning to, though.
It's an experience.
Same here. Haven't played the original. Looks wonderful. So yeah.
There's the sequel to that is coming out. It's called Ori and the Will of the Wisps. The soundtrack's going to be amazing. That's sort of what made Ori for me.
The graphics to it look fantastic.
Yeah, the art style is amazing. Sequel, awesome.
So should we move on to another conference, or we've got a lot to cover today? So
yeah, we're already half an hour in, so I think we should.
Yeah,
there's just one more game that brought up at the Xbox, been shown at every other conference. I'm sure we'll bring up. It's the new Middle Earth game.
Oh yeah,
Shadow of Mordor, new one, Shadow of War.
I never played Shadow of Mordor, so I'm.
Looks basically like more of the previous game, which isn't actually a bad thing.
The original game was great.
But yeah, it's not very different, but that's not really a bad thing in this case,
system,
in my opinion.
right? So now you can train them and fight with them as an army and attack other people using. You can mind control them to join your team.
Yeah, but how much that'll work like a buddy system and how much it'll work like an army is not entirely clear yet.
I'm excited. First one was good.
Oh yeah. The first one's a great game. It's only good. So yeah, you haven't innovated too much, but again, I just don't think they really need to of that. It's a winning formula.
And I know we want to move off the Xbox. There's one more game I wanted to mention. If people didn't see, it's called The Artful Escape. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was the one that everyone was like, "What the hell is that?" It's basically this crazy LSD fueled. There's guitar solos. It's sort of it's an indie game. It just looks really cool. There's like guitar solos and these trippy colors. Looks awesome.
Another one I missed. See, I wasn't able to watch the conferences in full because I didn't have time. So I've been skimming the trailers to try to catch up on stuff.
Artful Escape
yeah,
looks pretty cool.
It does. It's a cool idea. Certainly sounds cool. So, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Next was
Bethesda was next.
Bethesda.
Or PC. I didn't watch the PC
No,
conference.
Bethesda was that night, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Bethesda quite disappointing because they haven't
Yeah.
really done anything new?
There's nothing new. It's just new versions of.
Well, Wolfenstein looks phenomenal.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. The trailer for that did look pretty entertaining. I've never actually tried the original one, but it actually inspired me to give it a go, and I've actually played a little bit of it today. The original Wolfenstein: The New Order. So that is the original remake of the original, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah,
They're good games.
I've heard the good things about the original, but I have also heard the rumblings of sort of not anger, but sort of disappointment that, well, is that all you're giving us is sort of rehashed versions of old stuff, and there doesn't seem to have been any more newly created content. I think is the big gripe that most people have got.
Bethesda are sorely lacking a new IP. I will say that.
They had one other. I mean, I think it was an older game, but they announced something other than Wolfenstein that's coming. The Evil Within 2. Their new the horror game.
Yeah.
That trailer was like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I never played the original. I heard it was absolutely terrifying. I don't know if you guys
Now,
are into horror games.
I love horror games, so yeah, that one's pretty exciting.
Some of them with reservation. Like I'm a little bit picky. I like it if there's a concept that's genuinely escapist. I do not like the little house haunted by a little girl trope. As long as we can keep away from the horror movie tropes, I like it. But
that's fair.
Well, yes, I think it's got to stay away from sort of obvious jump scares and that kind of thing. But I do like to play games where I'm kind of, I really don't want to be here right now. That's great.
I loved Resident Evil 7. Fantastic game.
I mean, not having played it, I heard people had amazing things to say about Evil Within 1. I heard it was one of the better horror games of the past. Yeah. So, I mean, they're making a sequel. It looks downright terrifying, so...
Yeah, I'll certainly be checking out when I get the time. The thing is, I've got a number of games I'd like to bring into discussion, and we're running long in the tooth here.
Well, that was all Bethesda. Next up,
I think the only thing in Bethesda, the only things that really Bethesda that we kind of mentioned earlier was the Doom and Fallout 4 VR, and the new Dishonored expansion, which I love the Dishonored game.
It's not an expansion; it's a standalone.
Is it a standalone?
Yes, it's considered like 2.5. It's a standalone game. It's not an expansion of 2.
I've heard different things about it, so okay.
I mean, Dishonored's great, so
yeah,
more Dishonored's cool.
Absolutely.
The one I haven't gotten around to playing 2 yet, but more Dishonored is always a good thing.
More good games.
Yes. PC conference. I didn't get to watch.
PC conference was just a rehash of games we already know exist and expansions.
All right. I guess I could use this time to mention. What is the game called? It's the Saints Row 4, or the Saints Row people. Agents of Mayhem. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I really love the Saints Row games, at least 3 and 4, and Get Out of Hell I played. So I'm definitely going to be buying this one. It looks pretty interesting. It's kind of like a I don't even really know how to describe it. It's like a bunch of different agents, like different characters you can play as that have different game types. It's a single player game, I believe. You might be able to play co-op, but yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm gonna write that down. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think it was mentioned. No, I don't even think it was mentioned at the Xbox conference, but there was a spotlight for it after the Xbox conference.
Now, there's a big title we haven't dealt with yet, and that is because I don't think we don't really have time to go through all the conferences, so I'd say we should focus on games. What do people think about Assassin's Creed Origins?
Ooh.
Oh, drooling. I'm drooling over it. I can't help myself. It's like, oh, first of all, it's in Africa. Come on, I'm from Africa. This is just awesome. And you were talking about it. We were talking about it yesterday, weren't we? Curious. Oh, it's so nice that they've gone back to more ancient rather than more modern.
A time period without guns is a big thing. I didn't like Assassin's Creed with guns too much, but the more ancient time period really works for me. And I'm an Egypt nerd, so I anything that's set in Egypt I will automatically like a little bit more. So
yeah, I still have yet to play an Assassin's Creed game, but I think I might have to try this one just because I'm very intrigued by ancient Egypt. It looks like a pretty good game. So
I like that they updated their systems too, because I mean I liked a few of the Assassin's Creed, but then I was just like, I am so bored of doing the exact same thing over and over.
Thing. What I'm really liking is that they've changed up a lot of the core mechanics. At least they're claiming to.
Yeah,
now
there's a whole progression system they showed off on Twitch.
Wait and see how it actually plays, but I'm liking that it's more RPG. And I'm hoping that the combat system's a little bit kind of more varied, maybe. Found in the last couple of games as well, with a few key things, and that is the combat needed to be kind of redesigned, I think, and what's the gimmick of this game?
Yeah, they needed a refresh.
Now it's been like, oh, now they'll have the new weapon type, and you'll have the new parkour type, and they'll be kind of obviously tacked on to the rest of the game, and it won't kind of flow well. And I'm hoping this game's been designed as a complete kind of single experience rather than here's core Assassin's Creed and the new gimmick stuck onto the side of it. And it's looking like they might have gone the way of kind of redesigning the core gameplay, which is it's good. Funny thing, I'm not sure if you guys saw. Did you see their legendary edition of the game?
The $800.
Yeah,
that's ballsy.
How much?
$800 for the most expensive.
They're only making like 200 of them though, so yeah. I give them credit that it's not like an unlimited thing, but it's just like, I mean, does anyone really care about Assassin's Creed that much?
I can actually imagine there are some people who would care. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 22 or so inch resin model.
Oh my gosh.
Of one of the characters. Big, like, resin model. So, it's certainly, they certainly give you value for money in many ways. I mean, resin models are not cheap. I am a tabletop wargaming person. It's not cheap, something that big. So, it's value for money, and I'm certain, absolutely certain, it's not 200 editions they're selling. It's 999.
Oh, I heard 200. So they're selling 1,000 at $800.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
I'm absolutely certain that those will all be purchased instantly by collectors who intend to resell for the.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Added value of the statue later on. See what those statues end up selling for like a year after it comes out.
And if it sucks, then probably not much.
Well, even if it sucks, I mean, merchandise for games that did horribly in some cases still sells for a lot.
I mean, they chose a cool area to put the game in. It looks like they refreshed the mechanics. It has promise. And that's something I haven't said about Assassin's Creed in a long, long time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was really expecting them to just do. I was expecting First World War or something. Just go, oh god.
I actually don't think I would have minded that.
No,
That could've been
Egypt.
kind of cool. Egypt's cool.
World
I
War
wouldn't
One.
have minded a World War One, but I
that
think,
sounds-
to be honest, that there's quite a lot of World War type games out
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
They would have been hard pressed to come up with something unique to set in that scene.
Yeah. And as well, the less is known about the history of the time they're exploring, the more they can get creative, and the less it suffers from the issue that especially Assassin's Creed 3 had, where it's just, oh, let's walk through some high school history lessons.
Yes, it did
Very
feel
weird
very
like
much
that.
like that.
Yeah. And I prefer the lesser known periods because it forces them to not do that. They have to get creative with it. And I like that. They
And
will
I
have to
think
get
also-
creative with this.
It also helps from a player perspective because it means that you can be more imaginative because it's
Oh, yeah.
not something that you know very well. So you can sort of cast your mind in there and you can play around with it a bit. Whereas if it's something that is sort of more recent history, you find it actually more jarring if something doesn't gel with your view of that. So you're
Yeah.
kind of, that's not how it happened. Whereas with this, how do we know? It could be anything. You're kind of more laissez-faire about it.
Everyone knows Victorian London. Everyone knows the French Revolution. Not many people know about the Siwa Oasis in ancient Egypt, which is where this game starts out.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Still has to be a good
I know.
game. We'll find out, well, relatively soon. Every game, it seems, at E3 comes out in October, so...
So I'm expecting it'll be set in what's called an interregnum period, which is where different people were fighting over the title of the pharaoh. So it could actually be quite interesting, depending on how well they've done their history. I've studied Egypt, so it'll be interesting to see how well they've done their research.
Fair enough. Sorry, moving on from Assassin's Creed, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
There was a game that was shown, I believe, in the Sony Ubisoft conference, called Transference, which was Elijah Wood's company. Some sort of crazy VR experience / game. Something about putting your mind into the cloud. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for it. It's Elijah Wood's company. It looks crazy creepy and screwed up, and it looks just amazing. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Crazy and creepy, but looking like it'll be popular, much like the man himself.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. You see it, and you're just like, I don't know what that is, but I'm so intrigued. It was shot really creepily, and it's some sort of VR thing that's coming out next year. It just looks so interesting and cool, and it's right up my alley, and it looks awesome.
Everything minus the cool side is exactly my impression the first time I saw Elijah Wood.
It's fair. But
It was shot really creepily. It looked really interesting. I'd never seen a face like that. But sure, this game will be interesting.
Days Gone, PS4, looks pretty cool. Anyone?
Oh yeah,
they showed a bit of it last year. They showed more gameplay this year.
Unless I'm getting mixed up, is that the horror game where you've got a camera?
You are mixed up. It is a open world zombie type thing. It looks a little bit like The Last of Us, but less story driven.
Maybe Dead Rising, but a little bit better.
Yeah, sort of a rougher Dead Rising, not as funny. They showed a little bit of gameplay, and it was crazy looking.
Like more Dead, less Rises.
It looks interesting. The gameplay looked really cool. They had like 100 zombies. It
seemed like they were focusing on showing off how many zombies they could get on screen at once.
It looked kind of cool that you could sort of trick them, and it looked like there was a lot of destruction and sort of like options, which is always cool. I think.
A game like that, the big challenge is making the zombies like survivable in big hordes. Like Dead Rising, the issue is that the zombies are just nothing. They're an obstacle more than they are an actual threat. Whereas I'd like it if the zombies are actually something if they're in a big horde, you have to hide from them or escape them.
Well, then this game might be up your alley because it kind of looks like that.
I would really like a game where I get that sense of tension that you get in one of the old school zombie films, like Dawn of the Dead. I'd like to feel like that film in a zombie game.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Because there is that big element of risk.
Everything they've shown at this game makes it look like it might have all of those things. Because, I mean, last year they showed a trailer where you were sort of mowing them down as trying to escape. And this year was sort of you were being stealthy and you blew up a gate to try and, like, lure them away so you could do other things. It also looked crazy gory. Cool. I mean, they, like, snapped a guy's neck and it looked disgusting. And that always intrigues me for some reason.
Oh, gore's always good.
Yeah.
And
also, the Call of Duty World War II. I don't know if anyone's interested in that. I'm kind of excited to see a Call of Duty that's not a jetpack, just for mindless shooting.
Call of Duty is at least a bit refreshing, but I expect it will largely be keeping to the core gameplay formula at least.
Oh, it'll be Call of Duty for sure, but
gotten that working at least. There is one game I want to bring up. And that is Mount and Blade Bannerlord had some significant new showings. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows about that game.
The one that's sort of chivalry-esque?
Yes.
Well, I've played Mount and Blade Warband.
And this one kind of showed off some of the mounted combat, which is really what Mount and Blade is about. No real surprise there. And it's looking really good, actually. One of the key issues that Mount and Blade Warband had is it was kind of hard to have much real control over your men, and it looks like you've got more control this time. I don't know how much control, but it looks like you'll be able to do a little bit more with them. So that's a real improvement in my eyes.
Yes. With Warband, you kind of get frustrated after a while because it's not doing what I want it to do. Yeah.
Exactly. And the main difference between this and Chivalry is that it's not really a multiplayer game, not really by focus, and it's a medieval knight simulator, essentially. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's simulating being a medieval lord in the vassal system. You know, there's all the combat and leading armies on the field, but there's also the inter-lord politics, which can get quite interesting.
That sounds pretty cool.
Well, it's the kind of thing that makes Game of Thrones so popular.
Yeah.
Is anyone here
in a general simulator?
Is anyone here interested in all of the that stupid Mario and whatever the hell Ubisoft their minion things?
I'm surprised that was actually received so well. When I first heard about it, I was skeptical, but
I am actually thinking it could be good.
Yeah,
it's another game for the Switch, if nothing else.
Yeah, and on that topic as well, Mario Odyssey, we saw some actual footage of that now, and the trailer, I was loving the 50s vibe of the trailer.
I kind of like the idea of riding a bullet bill. I just thought that was kind of interesting. You're riding something that's going to blow up on you.
Yeah, like swapping into other creatures by throwing a hat at them was very nice. I loved the environments. I liked the gameplay of the Galaxy games. For me, the big issue was I loved the big environments of Sunshine. And it's looking like we might get some of those bigger environments back. And that's what I'm excited for there.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. I was kind of skeptical because I haven't enjoyed a Mario game since Galaxy 2.
Fair enough.
but yeah, it does look it looks pretty good. The gimmick of it looks interesting with the hat.
And along with that, I mean, they've come up with a little multiplayer Yoshi game as well now, which I thought looked quite good.
That looks interesting, yeah. I didn't pay as much attention to it because I've not really played any of the solo Yoshi games, but it did look interesting.
I was surprised. Nintendo dropped a lot of games, which is great because the Switch launch went so well and they still had no games. So it's kind of cool to see them. I mean, they dropped, I think, 6 or 7 games during their conference.
Yeah,
plus,
they did. I watched that yesterday. It was
XCOM
really
1,
good.
plus Skyrim. Like, there's
Like,
quite a few games.
If you ask me, I don't think they would have announced Metroid Prime 4 if there wasn't such pressure for them to announce more games at this point.
I mean, I
If
think
the
it's the
Switch
same with the
had
Pokemon
sold
RPG.
so well. Oh yeah, as well. I've got to mention that. Yeah, the Pokemon RPG was officially announced. I will admit, I've known about this for 2 months.
Oh,
I hate when they announce a game that is nowhere close to coming out. I'm like, why are you getting me hyped for something like that I'm gonna see in 2025 at Nintendo's rate? Like, screw you.
You're going to be waiting a while for this, because how I've known about it for 2 months is they posted job listings for the game 2 months ago. So
yeah,
we are talking early development. They're still assembling
this is probably 5 years away, given the scale of the game, and they have to make it perfect as soon as it comes out.
It could be.
Because, I mean, this is the game everyone has wanted since 1996 when the original came out.
What I'll say is you're very unlikely to get it within 2 years.
Yeah, which is why I hate that they announced it. I know they have
it's
pressure and
early.
bullshit, but, like, screw you. You're making the game I've always wanted, and you tease me like this so early.
And that's the thing is, it is my childhood dreams in a game. Since 1998, I have wanted, or whenever the first games were released, I have wanted a home console Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And I am shocked that it's taken till now, 20 years later, for them to actually decide to do it.
I like that the best version of Pokemon is probably an Arc mod right now.
Or a Minecraft mod, actually.
It's just, I mean, it's really awesome that they're making it. I'm so happy they're making it, but it's just, I mean, at least by that point, I may have actually gotten a Switch, and the Switch will probably cost like $100 because they'll have the Switch 3DS. But I hate that they announced it so early, but I love that they're making
Switch 3DS XL2.
Oh, right. Sorry, I said 5 years, right?
Switch, yeah, either. But I am one of those people. I'm not an early adopter of consoles. I'm going to wait for it to drop in price quite a bit. But I am... the lineup is getting as good as it is, because I was looking at eventually getting it just for Zelda. And I'm happy that I don't have to get it just for Zelda.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I think there's only one game left. I just wanted to mention, I'm not a big fan of the series, but maybe somebody is in this chat, which is the new God of War.
Oh yeah, it did look good, actually. I've not played them, but it did look good.
Yeah, it looks great. I don't know if anyone here plays them. A lot of people were hyped about that. Thought I would mention it.
Fair enough. There's one game I want to bring up, one game left on my list, and that is Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes.
Again. Its last announcement was in 2008, and of course that went absolutely nowhere. But it's been announced again. We've had a non-in-game trailer, so it's all pre-rendered graphics. And I honestly, though, I'm loving the style of it. I like that they're kind of making it a bit more mature. Well, mature in a open quotes. Basically, it's got a lot of swearing and jocularity in it. But I'm liking what they're doing with it, and I just hope that this time it actually turns into a game.
I think it will.
And I hope we don't have to wait another 10 years to hear about it. But it's been announced anyway, so
I'm excited because the trailer looked awesome, but then I was watching the dev on the Twitch stream. They do the little interviews and stuff. And he came out and called it, he said, it's pretty much GTA in space with more humor. And I was like, you got me. Take my money, put it wherever you want. I'll throw dollar bills at you while you take off your clothes if you want. If that's the description of the game you're given, I'm in.
Yeah, that's Now, Beyond Good and Evil, the original one, was a bit more dark than that. It had its humor, but it was more cyberpunk, and it was telling a fairly serious story. But if this goes a bit more lighthearted, I think that could actually help it.
The trailer looked pretty light, and
I loved
it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. If I was to write a blurb for the original Beyond Good and Evil, I would say, I would say cyberpunk. I don't know. I don't know if if this game will match that, but Cyberpunk Zelda is essentially what you write on a sign to trap me in a oversized mousetrap. So
that's good to know. I'll stop using the peanut butter then.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of peanut butter. That's not the right way to go.
Yeah, that game looks cool. So we're kind of way over time. I don't know if we ever have a set time.
Yeah.
But if we could just get
long on this one.
Let's just go around a circle. One game or thing you're most excited for.
I did have one more game that I wanted to mention.
Okay, sorry, excited. Go ahead.
At the we kind of stopped looking at each of the conferences, but at the Sony conference, I think the new Spider-Man game. As a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh yeah, that's actually, I forgot about that one, but yeah, it does actually look really good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get a PS4. That's why I mentioned it earlier that I was probably gonna have to get one because I played the Amazing Spider-Man games, which were kind of crap, but I played them because I love Spider-Man. But this one looks like an actual good Spider-Man game.
Yeah, it looks like the Arkham model, but with Spider-Man, and I think that is a really good combo.
Yeah.
So, like, I've not played the Arkham games. I respect the mechanics and the way they're set up, but done with Spider-Man instead of Batman, I think it might actually get me to play it.
Yeah. That's how the Amazing Spider-Man games kind of were. They used the same fighting mechanics and stuff, and the whatchamacallits, pushing the button at the right time, whatever that's called.
See, I'm always going to be someone who's cautious of any game which is too closely tied into a film.
Yeah.
So this one, being not really necessarily associated with a particular film, I'm kind of more willing to give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, they are coming out with Spider-Man Homecoming next month, but this one is, from what I can understand and from what I can tell, it's completely separate. Which is good.
Into that, whereas Amazing Spider-Man was at least loosely tied into the film.
Yeah.
And that, at least, I don't know if film tie-ins are still a really bad thing, but they used to be.
Yeah.
Playing on my lawn. So, yeah. It certainly looks interesting, and if it might be the first superhero game that I've actually given a chance. So there's that.
All right. Anyone have any other games they want to bring up?
There was one that I saw. It's a prequel game actually, and it's the Life is Strange prequel.
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
Because I must admit I really like Life is Strange, so it was kind of good. It's Before the Storm, I think it's titled. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by that one.
Okay, cool.
A lot of people kind of interested that it was a prequel, as I think a lot of people were expecting it to continue whatever. I had never played it, but I think a lot of people were expecting it to continue whatever the last game was. So I saw a lot of people really excited about it being a prequel.
Well, this is it, because I mean, the first game makes you make some very, very hard decisions. It almost presents a no-win situation for you. So yes, it does make it quite nice to see that they're sort of taking you into the past that you didn't get to see the first time, if that makes sense.
That was one game that my girlfriend played religiously that I never touched, and that's probably the only game I've ever seen her actually care about. I'm pretty sure she was crying, like openly weeping at one point about it.
Yes,
And,
it's there's not many games that make me cry, and that is one of them that's done so.
There you go, prequel.
Fair enough. So I guess our E3 picks, if we can pick one thing from it first.
Sorry, you cut out. I don't know what you
Sorry,
said.
I said our E3 picks. If we can pick something that's our favorite announcement or show for E3.
I mean, I'd probably have to say Spider-Man. Just out of all of them, I think that's the one that I'm the most excited for.
Out of all the games, there's a lot that look really great. I'm tempted to say the Pokemon RPG, but I know that's not actually a game yet, and it's just some Japanese guy telling us that they're working on it. So I'd probably Sea of Thieves, just in terms of I think it's different and cool, and that intrigues me.
Tash?
Sorry, everything froze. I just missed the last little bit there.
Okay, we're going over our E3 picks for the year.
At Discord app for all complaints.
I think I'd probably go with Life is Strange because I'm intrigued by that one. That would be the one that's got me the most. I want to play that. I want to get that.
I'm in a similar boat to Sloppy in that if Pokemon for the Switch was more than a glint in a milkman's eye, I would go with that as well. But as I can't ever really know if it will ever even happen, I will go with Metro.
It does look cool.
Because of how much I loved the Metro games. Yeah, it looks really cool, and open world Metro exploring Chernobyl and like nuked out Russia.
Great
Fighting off lots of
atmosphere, great
mutants.
vibe.
Yep.
Our games were good. I will say I hate that so many freaking games that were announced are coming out within 4 weeks of each other.
Just,
Like
yep.
October is so. I know it's always full with Christmas or whatever, but this year especially, it just seems like there's actually games I care about that are coming out in October. Maybe that's the difference.
Like November of last year was pretty crazy. But yeah, we've run so far over time now. We should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
It's safe to say I built exactly 0% of a wall. And I apologize, Tashlan. I got distracted teleporting around. There's some great stuff on this world, so I apologize.
No, it's good to have a look at this world because it is beautiful.
Yeah, I did the same thing just because I got lost on the wall. And yeah.
Fair enough. I've been trying to build, but everywhere I've built, I've seen Tashlan going over and fixing things, so I don't think I did very well.
I'm sorry, I was trying to be very subtle about it. Like, la, 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 la.
No, I was showing off. You were front and center on camera for me, fixing all the mistakes I made.
Oh dear.
Yeah. At least now I can say my viewers definitely know I'm only human.
Fair enough.
It's the best condition.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tashlan, for joining us.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
for
you for
joining us.
inviting me. It's been
It's
fun.
funny because we probably didn't. We only covered probably like 70% of E3, and it's been a while.
Yeah. There's a lot out there which we haven't mentioned, so check out. And if you want to leave your picks for E3 or just your thoughts about E3 this year, leave it in your relevant comment section.
Yes, absolutely. Let us know what you think.
Yep.
And let us know maybe what you want to see us play.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we all have YouTube channels. So if you're watching one of us, you can find us out on the other channels too. And Tashlan as well also has her own YouTube channel. Links to that will be in the description of our videos. So check us all out.
Also, if you want to play on this world, you can join the Creator Crew Discord, which link should be in the description as well. And the password is in the rules and info channel.
Absolutely. Okay, I think that's the shilling done.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Sorry about it being so long, but it is E3. So,
thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
See you next
for
week.
your time. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.